Welcome to High School Hysteria, everyone. I'm Paxton Boyd from ESPN 106.3.
And I'm Jason Pugh from ESPN 106.3.
We have now entered week 2 of the high school football season. We've got you covered from all the top action in the area tonight.
Yeah, and we begin with our football night in South Florida game of the week, Paxton. And for that, we welcome in ESPN 106.3's Emily Fennell.
Hey, Jason and Paxton, thanks so much for having me on tonight. You know, tonight's game, Dwyer playing at Atlantic tonight, and this was a big matchup. Both teams are stout on defense, and that trend definitely continued into tonight's game. We picked the action up with FAU commit Gio Richardson. You know, Coach Daniels of Dwyer said he'd like to see Gio become more of a dual threat quarterback, but it would be Atlantic who would get up on the scoreboard early. Eagles jumped the lead with Kaylani Maliota finds Cameron Williams in the corner of the end zone, and it's 7-0, Eagles up early. Eagles in the second drive, Ili Maliota looking for the big play, but it was picked off. That's Seth Barillas coming up with the interception. But the Panthers would struggle to get anything going offensively. Second quarter, Ili Maliota tosses up for the 50-50 ball, and it's Christopher Wilson coming up with it. The Eagles extend their lead over Dwyer. The Eagles go up 14-0. But the Panthers finally get on the board before the half out of the Wildcat formation. That was Bobby Armez who would find the end zone to cut into the lead. Atlantic would ultimately win this one 30-13, and the Eagles improved to 2-0.
All right, thanks so much, Emily. We're going to keep the action rolling, Paxton, because first-year coach and former FAU All-American punter Mickey Grudy and John Carroll, they were heading down to play Kings Academy, a strong football team. Kings Academy with a very impressive victory in week 1. The Lions, always one of the better teams in the area. That's Justin Wake, the quarterback. Third quarter action there, nice little keeper. It's a 2014 Kings Academy lead. Later on, Jeremy Strogan's nice return there on the kickoff before he is finally brought down. It was a big night at Kings Academy. The Lions had a teacher celebration on the field. Nice moment for the teachers and everything that they do for those students. Corey Cruchot catches the screen pass here. He almost sneaks his way past defenders and into the end zone. Final score in this game, Kings Academy 41-21. They win it.
All right, let's keep it rolling out to Santa Lucia's High School as they welcome in Jude Blessington and the Forest Hill Falcons. We start in the second quarter. Forest Hill quarterback Darius McClendon goes to hand the ball off to Chaz Eaton, but he fumbles the ball. It's picked up by Bickley Dorcius for the Chiefs. That game would remain scoreless. Now 3 minutes until halftime now. Falcons looking to come back from that fumble. McClendon finds Deshaun Sermons down the field. That's caught on the Falcons' 20-yard line. The game still scoreless at this point. Now with 1 minute left until halftime, McClendon hands off to Brian Jones. He maneuvers his way through the Chiefs' defense, finds the end zone, and the Falcons, they go up 7-0. Now 2 minutes into the third quarter, the dynamic duo back at it again. You know who we're talking about, McClendon and Brian Jones. Here we go. Yeah. I should have gave him their due time. But here's Brian Jones. He'll do some more celebrating. Finds his way right through the end zone. Falcons up 14-0. Forest Hill, they go on to take down Santa Lucia's big 27-0. Your final score.
How about Palm Beach Gardens and Royal Palm Beach? The Wildcats, the Gators. Great game on a Friday night. We'll pick it up in the second quarter. That is David Stutstill showing off the moves. Nice little quarterback keeper there from 5 yards out. It's a 15-7 Gardens lead right now. Some tough running here by Antonio Outler. We saw tough running all night long from the Gators. Final score in this game, Palm Beach Gardens 44, Royal Palm Beach 7. They're ranked number 5 in the top 10 for a reason. We head out to Cardinal Newman now. Two teams undefeated. Newman taking on Jupiter. A little more than 3 minutes left until halftime. I like this guy. This is junior running back Chris Dior. Untouched on his way to the end zone. Crusaders up 22-14. Very next possession for the Warriors. They were trying to answer with a big play of their own. Guess who's going to stop that big play? Yeah, Dior. He also plays defensive back. Picks that off. Nice little return here before he's finally brought down to end the first half of play. In the second half, though, Jupiter got their act together. John Mosley, the quarterback, finds Ryan Cameron. That cut into the Crusaders' lead. It's a 22-20 ball game. Those two were not done. They hook up one more time, make it 33-29. Warriors on top heading into the fourth quarter, but give Cardinal Newman a ton of credit. They outlasted the Warriors in that fourth quarter. They moved to 2-0 on the season. They beat Jupiter in a close one, 43-41.
All right, let's move to Delray Beach to the Corral. American Heritage hosting Holy Trinity tonight. And the Stallions D flexing its muscles early. Tigers QB Drew Nixon flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his left, launches downfield, and he's picked off by J-Lou. Jonathan Lewis coming up with the big turnover. The Stallions now working the 2-minute drill just before halftime. Zach Bohannon looking downfield. Dion Small coming up big with the catch there. The Stallions are now in business deep in Holy Trinity territory. Steve Barrett would finish this drive off for the Stallions. 1-yard touchdown run. That gives the Stallions a 21-7 lead with just seconds remaining in the half. But in the closing seconds, the Tigers going to try to mount a little comeback here. Nixon unloads down the field, and guess who? Lewis coming up again with pick number 2 of the half. American Heritage, they go on to win big, 35-14 over Holy Trinity.
I like that nickname, J-Lou. I'm not sure if he even knows who Jennifer Lopez is. He's like 15 years old. There's no way he knows who J-Lou is.
I might have stolen it from the PA announcer.
Oh, okay, there you go. Also tonight, Palm Beach Central up against Ferguson. This game was all Broncos tonight, 48-0. You know they were frustrated after last week. Brian Robinson got the scoring started with a 22-yard touchdown reception, and then Gene Terraris Oliver scored on a 65-yard punt return for the Broncos.
It was definitely something we needed after last week's tough loss to Atlantic. Again, the kids were humbled all week in practice from that loss, and they realized no matter how much talent we have, we had to step up in practice and dial in and focus.
All right, this from last night. Spanish River continuing to pay tribute to Miles Levine, of course, was injured during their kickoff classic game. They host Olympic Heights. Lions quarterback Connor Hone rolling to his right. That's Aaron Jacobs coming up with the contested catch in the corner of the end zone. Olympic Heights up 14-0 early. Second quarter, Lions on the attack again. Hone going deep, hits Jack Colson in stride. Colson cruises in for the easy TD, and it's 21-0 Olympic Heights. It wouldn't get any prettier from there. On the ensuing kickoff, the Sharks can't handle it. It's fumbled, and that would result in a turnover. Matthew Prazeris coming up with the heads-up play for Heights, and the Lions would make him pay for it. Hone to Colson yet again. Their second hookup of the night, just like that. It's 28-0 Heights, and just as things were beginning to get out of hand, they got even worse. Moments later, the Sharks punt is blocked. Christian Ippolito scoops it up, takes it all the way. It's 35-0 Lions at that point. And then just before the half, nothing going right for the Sharks. Hone this time drops back, hits Jacobs in the flat, and he would do the rest. Goes all the way. Sharks give up 21 points in less than a minute and a half at one point in this one. And the Lions, they win big on the road, 42-7. On Wednesday night, Centennial welcoming in Jensen Beach to South County Stadium. We begin in the second quarter. Falcons quarterback Braden, by the way, is flushed out of the pocket. He's looking for the end zone, fires, and he's picked off by Dre Grace. Grace takes it the other way, and when it's all said and done, it's a 30-yard return for Grace. Now on the ensuing drive for the Eagles, Blaine Watkins hits Cedric Wilcox in the flat. He breaks a tackle, finds some space up the sideline, nearly takes that one all the way before getting pushed out on his way to the end zone. But on the very next play, they'll let him finish it off. They give it to Wilcox again, plows his way in from 2 yards out, and the Eagles have a 14-0 lead. Let's go to the third quarter. Centennial back on the attack. Watkins drops back, fires, and check out the highlight reel grab from Traquan Collins. Plucks it out of thin air, and he'll pick up 75 yards before he's finally dragged down by the Falcons D. And then they finish off the drive with Watkins calling his own number. He'll easily trot into the end zone. This one all Centennial. A statement win over Jensen Beach. They beat them for the first time in 4 years, and they do it in convincing fashion. 38-0, your final score. All right, let's take a look at our most recent ESPN West Palm top 10 list. This after week 1 of high school football. Centennial comes in at number 10 after starting the year unranked. You just saw they were impressive this week against Jensen Beach. Palm Beach Central falls to number 7 after getting shut out by Atlantic. Speaking of Atlantic, the Eagles move up 2 spots to number 3. No reason why they shouldn't be ranked higher next week. Now, Vero Beach comes in strong at number 2, and the Dwyer Panthers were at number 1 after dominating Park Vista last week. They fell at Atlantic tonight, so look for a big shakeup to come next week. But still week 2, we're still figuring this thing out.
Yeah.
A lot of moves to be made.
Can I make a prediction on the top 10? Atlantic, they should be number 1. I mean, they're the best team in
Vero
Palm Beach
wins big
County.
tonight, too.
What was that?
Yeah, Vero.
I
Like
was more
46 to
I
nothing.
was more impressed with Atlantic, though. But Vero's good, too. I'll give you Vero. Vero's a very good football team. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for staying up and watching High School Hysteria. Be sure to catch FAU's season opener at Oklahoma tomorrow at noon on the flagship station for Florida Atlantic football, ESPN 106.3. He's Paxton Boyd. I'm Jason Pugh. Saying good night. We'll see you next week.